marks 10 years since we lost you. Not a day goes by that we don't miss you and wish you were still here. This video is to remember you. Thank you to all those who have shared their thoughts and memories. I hope you all enjoy this tribute to my Matt. I have so many memories, obviously, with Matt, and some of you that may watch this video, you obviously may remember him as Nathan, and I would never want to take that away from you. Him and his dad had the same name, and his middle name was Nathaniel, and his mom, when he was born, had said she wanted to call him Nathan. So growing up, all the way until he joined the Marine Corps, he was known as Nathan. When he joined the Marine Corps, he started introducing himself to anyone and everyone that he met as Matt, because that was his name. And so when I met him, he was known as Matt. And I'll never forget when I went home with him for the first time to meet his family. I kept talking about Matt. Like, whenever I would refer to him, I referred to him as Matt. And finally, like, his family was like, who are you, what are you talking about? They had no idea, I guess. He obviously never told them that he started going by Matt. And so it was always like I just remember that at that time, they were very confused and they didn't understand. And his uncle, at his funeral, he made a statement that has stuck with me like ever since that day. And the way that he tried to explain it to everyone is that Nathan was the boy and Matt was the man. And I think it's so true, because when he was, like, Nathan was the boy, and when I met him as a man. And when he joined the Marine Corps, he felt like he became a man. And so Matt was his name. And he was such a strong man. He was such a loving man. And I just love that his uncle, the way that he put that, it made so much sense. And I hope that it helped any of his family and friends that maybe always felt confused as to why he would change his name. But he didn't really change it. He just started going by his official name. But those of you that know him as Nathan, he will always be Nathan to you. For me, he's my Matt, and he'll always be my Matt.
Okay, so this is supposed to be about my favorite memory with Matt, my brother-in-law. I can't say that I have one particular memory. I mean, there's a few that stand out quite prominently. I can't say there's one particular memory I have with him that is my favorite, because what stood out to me the most was that he loved my sister, and that's all that mattered. That's what was important. So I gave him a really hard time, but I think that's important when people you care about are, on the line. But I'm glad I did, and so thankful to have known you, and thank you for loving my sister and being so forgiving. of all of us. Look forward to seeing you again. Bye-bye.
Trying to think of one memory that sticks out is so hard because I have so many in the short time that we were together. I guess I can just kind of talk about more that we were together for a little over a year, like from the time that we met until the time he died. We were only together for a year and a few months. And but in that short time that we were together, it literally felt like a lifetime. Like it felt like we had known each other for so much longer. That's like how we started out. Like when we first met, everything just happened obviously very quickly. But looking back now, I understand that all happened for a reason, because God knew that I would only have a short time with him on this earth, and he wanted us to have as much time as we could together in that short year and a few months. So one thing that that always sticks out to me is when he asked me to be his girlfriend. We actually had met on a Sunday at church, after church, and he had asked me out a few days later, and I went out with him, and we were just standing in this room, and we were talking, and he actually used the words, "Will you be my girlfriend?" And of course I said yes, but it was just so cute because you could tell how nervous he was, and it was just, oh my gosh, it was cute.
Growing up, Nathan was my best friend and greatest rival, I guess you could say. I really miss him. I love him very much, but one of the things I'm most thankful about him is if it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't have met my wife, Lori. He set it up to where we could go riding horses out at her family's place, and if it hadn't been for that, I probably never would have met her. So I'm just really thankful for that.
Another one would be when he asked me to marry him. He had apparently this whole evening planned, and I obviously, like, by the end of the evening I was getting very, like, kind of irritated because he wanted to take me to this certain place. He wanted to take me to a golf course because he really liked golfing, and but he was having a hard time finding it because it was at night and roads were closed because there was a parade going on and whatnot. So he was having a hard time, and I was like, why don't you just tell me where you're taking me? I didn't know that we were going there, and I was like, why don't you tell me so that I can, like, maybe help you navigate, like, figure out where we're going. He's like, no, I can figure it out. So we finally get there, and I'm like, what are we doing at a golf course at night? Like, why are we here? And he took me out on this golf course, and, like, there was the little, like, island area that was all by itself. And he took me over there, and there was a bench, and he obviously got on his knee, and he asked me to be his wife. And it was like the best moment of my life up until that point. And it was just, oh my gosh, like, just thinking about it, like, I can go back and it feels like that moment.
It's been 10 years. Think about you all the time. Miss you. Holidays are especially hard, but it helps to think about the fun stuff we did, the crazy stuff we did. Some stuff like going out there and playing paintball, or all the football games, or some of the basketball games. Believe it or not, that barn we used to play basketball against, it's pretty much falling completely down. And I'll think about the time went out there to California for a debt to build up the helicopter. I got to see it that one weekend. Went out there to, I believe it was Malibu, out there in the ocean. Holy crap, that was cold. You were crazy enough wanting to go swim in it. Like, you were nuts. All times, you know, we'd go out and play in the woods, sneak up on the cousins. Sneak up on the other cousins and scare them, jump out in the woods. And playing paintball, we'd always dominate. Be me and you against everybody else, and we still win. Kind of funny, but kind of sad too. Anyways, I miss you, and wish you would got to meet Connor. You'd love to meet him. He's hilarious. I got a daughter, which is crazy. Me with a little girl. Terrifying. Anyways. I miss you, man, and look forward to seeing you in heaven.
I met Matt when I was 14 years old, and I would eventually become his brother-in-law. Up until that point, he was really the only big brother figure that I had in my life, and he really had a big impact on me. When he was in town, he would take me to go do things with him, just the two of us, take me for rides in his truck, which would also later become mine. And this impact that he had on me, the connection that I had made with him was so great that it ultimately led me to join the Marine Corps. After his passing, I decided to honor him and that I wanted to be like him, so I joined the Marine Corps. So that's just a little bit about mine and Matt's relationship.
I know I've said this before, the way that he would say my name, the way that his because of his accent, the way he said my name, the way he said certain words, he couldn't say can't. Oh my gosh, it drove me absolutely crazy. It was hilarious. He couldn't say can't. He would say can't. I can't do it. And I would be like, say can't. Just say, and he would he'd go, I can't. And he could never say can't. He could only say can't. And the way he said my name, he didn't call me Raina, but because of his accent, it was like, I can't even say it the way he said it. I can hear it, but nobody else has ever said my name the way that he has said my name. And so his accent is just something that I used to love. I used to make fun of him so much about certain words that he would say, especially the word can't. I can't do it. And it's so funny. I want to thank you all again for being a part of this video, for continuing the last 10 years to be supportive and keeping me and my family in your prayers during this journey of life and all the obstacles and whatnot that have come my way during that time. Thank you for those that have stuck by my side through thick and thin and that have loved me and my family no matter what. I hope that you all enjoyed this video. Matt, I love you so much. You will always be my first husband. You will always be so special. You have that special place in my heart that no one will ever take. And I cannot wait to see you again someday. I love you forever and always.